frame back. We've got bits and pieces to be putting back on it. So what I'm looking for is, I've printed this out of the workshop manual, so I'm going to put the headstock back together. So I've put the bearings in. There's an O-ring which I know where it is. So we're on the castellated nut and this funny shaped spacer. So I've got me bits and pieces out of me boxes. Right, let's go over to the bike. The benefit of having a bike lift is that you keep it on the ground all the time, obviously. So before we reinstall it, we'll just I'll put a nice big dollop of grease on that bearing. These are the original bearings as well, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with them. I don't like replacing things just for the sake of it. If it's serviceable, then it goes back on. Give them a little turn, it makes the grease go behind the rollers. We'll chuck a bit more on when it's this in. Headstock in. Okay. There's a little rubber seal that goes in there. Okay. And we've got another seal that sits up there, I think. So this is a replated castellated nut. Now, the idea of this is if you don't want to over tighten them, but obviously you don't want any slack in them. So what you can do is you can just tighten them, make sure the bearings are seated. And then back it off a little bit. Like that feels good. It may be something you have to go back to after you've done a little shakedown ride. So what this does is it clamps that nut between the top and bottom, and it stops this from undoing. So now find the top yoke. So that's my top yoke. Come out alright actually, and all I've done with that is, I think it's on a previous video, using an abrasive wheel, gave it a nice brushed finish, and we've given it a little bit of lacquer just to keep that finish good. And up here. So what I'll do is I'll leave all this loose until we've got the forks in. So, forks really have just cleaned them up, given them the brushed look as like from factory, but literally haven't done much more to them than that. They could probably do with having the oil changed in them, but I'll do that later another time. So before we go too far, you must remember to put your handlebars on. These are the handlebar yokes. So that's my torque wrench. It's been set to 23 Newton meters because that's what this requires according to the manual. Always keep, because you've got two bolts, if you do one up to the correct torque, then the other one, then this one will be loose. So you have to just keep going. Just make sure. There you go. So they're both of the correct torquiness. Under here, there is, there's a little, obviously there's clamps on here, but there's also a bolt that goes up into the top yoke, which looks like that. It's a funny little weird top hat, and that stops this rotating. Obviously the clamp is there to keep it on the fork, but this will actually stop it rotating. And it's important that you put this in before you do that clamp up, otherwise you'll be undoing it again. You may have noticed how much my forks are poking through that top yoke. This much here. Now, you can adjust your frame geometry by how much you put the top of your forks through the top yoke. So if you want your bike to be very, to turn very quickly, then you want to put your fork legs through the top yoke, because effectively what it does is it changes the rake angle of your bike, also shortens your wheelbase slightly, and it makes it steer very quick. They steer very quickly anyway. If you want it to be more stable, then you can put these sort of level with that, and what that does is it lengthens your wheelbase, only slightly, but it is enough to make a difference. Top tip. So this is that swinging arm, whatever you want to call it. So we've I've built this up. I've put the linkage on the bottom. I'm not sure if it's the right way around yet. It might be. See in a minute. It sits inside the frame. Hopefully, I haven't got too much paint to get past. There we go. So just need to line that up. So yeah, before you put the swinging arm in, like I just did, put your exhaust hanger on, because there's a nut up there that you can't get to once it, well, it's very difficult to get to it. Just looking at the torque settings for all these bolts, T5, they're all the same torque, so 49 of your Newton meters. Brum, 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 brum. There we go, 49 Newton meters. So the idea of torquing everything up as you go is so you don't forget to do it. because it's easy just to throw things together and completely miss a bolt. And these ones are all quite important because they sort of hold your back wheel where it should be. So if you just torque them up as you go, then you don't have to go back to it. You don't have to remember that whether you've done it or not. That's how easy your swinging arm should move with all your linkage tight. So I put this together as a sub-assembly, so I found all the right bits for it. I'm not going to worry about doing this up or torquing it up yet, because I need to put the chain on, and when I set the chain tension I'll do all that up probably. I'll leave my R clip around like that so I don't forget. Alright, it's all good. This little speedo drive goes on this side. Little notch in the fork there that I've got to try and line up. So it's going to be a bit of a fiddle. So I've greased all this up before. So. What you can do is just leave the space right the other side. There we go. Until you know it's there. So the other thing is that you don't want to clamp these up before you do that spindle up. Because what you can do is pull your forks in or out. Because this spindle is it's like a floating spindle effectively, and it just floats inside this diameter. So what you want to do is to tighten this up to the right torque. Give your forks a bit of a pump, and then do these clamps up. Because then everything will be straight then, and it will stop you wrecking your forks so easily, doing all sorts of damage to them. Right, we'll get them calipers on now. It's lovely jubbly calipers. Okay, that's just to get them over the disc. Just carefully slide them round. Because I'm a fat fuck and I want to ride this fast, and I thought I'd try Diet Coke. I'm sure just one will be enough. Yeah, I should be able to do 140 now. Right, we'll do these two up first, clamp them, and then we've got to do all these up. So these ones are, according to drawing, T4, 20 Newton meters. No, they're T2. T2, 34. So. two that I talked previously. Oh, it's powder coat, I think it is. All it will do is it'll be really tough to get your bolt on, or your nut on, and then potentially you could damage the thread or damage the nut trying to wind it on there. If you haven't got a die, you can get a nut and just put a hacksaw through the side of it. So if that was the nut, just cut it across there and then wind that on, and that'll have the same effect. So you can see it on that gem. Right.